everyone, it's Aislinn here. So this is less a book update video and kind of more of a book discussion, I guess it would be, video. I've seen a lot of like movie versus book comparisons, particularly on YouTube, but generally on the internet in general. I know they've always been around, but they seem to really be blowing up. And scrolling through comment sections, forums, things like that, I kind of got thinking, are movie adaptations really as bad as we make them out to be? Okay, so disclaimer, I look at movie adaptations of books, well done ones, as more like glorified fan fiction, really well written fan fiction, but fan fiction nonetheless. They're not canon, they are there strictly for entertainment value. They don't add to the universe. They might take some things away for the elitists out there. Toxic elitism, people, you know who you are, which is a whole other thing that I'm not going to get into. This is just a fun video, okay? So please, if you don't agree with something that I say, please don't come after me with a shotgun, okay? I'm doing this just for my own entertainment value. I have thoughts I wanted to share. I'm definitely open for discussion. I'd like to know what you guys think about movie to book adaptations and what your favorites are. There are so many out there. I'm going to keep my personal thoughts to 4 in particular. I'm going to be discussing Harry Potter, the Tolkien universe, meaning Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, Twilight, and Jurassic Park. So if you have a favorite movie to book adaptation, definitely let me know, because so many movies are even based on books and we don't even know. Probably movies I've seen that I don't watch credits, so I might not know that they're based on a book. So please, if you have a favorite, tell me. Or if you have one you think is a dumpster fire, tell me, because I like bad movies too, for no other reason than they are great excuses to drink a lot of wine. So yeah, anyway, I don't know how long this video will be. I'm going to try and do minimal editing like usual, but if I get off on a tangent, there may be clips. But yeah, so that's my general thoughts. I generally go into movies I know that are based on books, especially if I've read the books, as, okay, this is going to be a well-written, glorified fan fiction. It's not going to be perfect. It's, you know, it is what it is. I can watch it for the entertainment factor, or I can burn it with a blowtorch later. And yes, there have been movies that I've literally bought the DVD so I can burn it with a blowtorch. Not going to mention them here. But, so, back to on question before we get down. Are movie adaptations really as bad as the books they come from? Well, I think that all depends on your point of view. If you're like me, and you can go into a movie adaptation, even ones that are marketed as true to the original, come on, let's face it, we all know it, they're never going to be true to the original. Yeah, if you can go in like me and just not take it seriously, see it for the entertainment value that it is, see it for the piece of cinema that it is, and walk out of it with maybe a different perspective on the same story, they're really not that bad. If you are expecting ever to go into a movie adaptation from a book and you're expecting a word-for-word screenplay, plagiaristic, purist form, hoo-ha, whatever, yeah, you're going to hate it and you're going to be disappointed and you're going to hate the adaptation. The thing I look at it is, movies that are adapted from books are just that. They are adaptations. They are not, I don't think we are do them justice if we take them too seriously. Now this is not necessarily a defense of movie to adaptation, or adaptation book to movie. I understand sometimes why changes need to be made. whether it's a marketing thing, whether it's something in the book is problematic. You know, there's so many reasons. I'm not a filmmaker. I love cinema. I can watch cinema for what it is. Sometimes it's the era the main movie's made in. Sometimes it's the era the original source material's made in. Which brings me to a point. I think we can enjoy all forms of art and medium for what it is, and it's not fair to always compare the two. Now, of course, if something is completely subpar, like, I can't think of one off the top of my head right now, but say you had, I don't know, a kid's book, and it was, you know, new setting, classic, you know, it was beloved by millions. This is going to be a terrible analogy, but bear with me. I'm trying to get somewhere. And you made a really shitty animated movie from that book. You know, you, whatever, cut out the main character and made someone else the main character, or you change the setting. Maybe it's supposed to be set in England and you decide to set it in the United States and completely change all the cultural references that would have come with that. Yeah, you're probably going to piss off people, and then the movie probably does deserve to be dumped on. So, examples. This is maybe going to bring this point, and I'm getting rambly, so I'm going to try and get back on track. 2 wonderful examples of movies that I thought were actually better than the book. And like I said, this is all just personal opinion. Please don't come at me with a shotgun or a blowtorch. Blowtorches aren't fun. Okay, or pitchforks or whatever you prefer for your torture devices. All right, so first one, Twilight. I hated this book series. I thought this book series was boring, one-dimensional, angst character, really unnecessary drama, bullshit dumpster fire of a book. I almost didn't see the movies. I hated it that much. That actually is one of the books I did when I got it. I got it as a gift and had to very much apologize to my mother who gave it to me as I burned it. My mother loves the movies and forced me to sit through them. I adore the movies. I really do. I don't know what it is with the way they're done, but somehow, something in the storytelling that did not come across in the books, that made my eyes bleed as I was reading the books, was able to come across in the movie. Somehow the producers, director, actors, the editors, whatever, they were really able to capture a perspective of the story that I really enjoyed and I could connect with. So in this case, for me, this, Twilight, and its series is something that I really think come across on film a lot better than it did in the book. Jurassic Park, the first movie, is another one. And I believe this was done in 1994. I remember being a kid when I first watched this. And I tried to go back as an adult and read the book because apparently it is way scarier than the movie. And let's face it, the movie's good on suspense. It's not great as a horror movie. I don't think it's supposed to be one, but anyway. Hated the book. The writing style, I could not do it. I tried it, and then finally just gave it up and gave it to my library. Because someone out there is going to like that. I have not read anything by the author since. I believe his name is Michael Crichton. I don't actually remember. But the movies, I have loved. I have them all. Even up to the newest one, the Fallen Kingdom. I marathon these regularly. I adore them. Again, perspective. Something in the writing style of the books did not click with me. Something in the movie format did. Now, some people are going to say, well, you're not a fan. You don't like the books. I never claim to be a fan of anything. I will say I like something. Maybe binge watching the movies makes me a fan. Heck, I write fan fiction. Do I share it? No, because my writing is shit. But I write fan fiction for myself. Does that make me a fan? Maybe. I don't know. But, yeah, some people be like, well, you don't understand the depths of it. Maybe not. Obviously, that's why I like the movies better than the books. All I know is I like what I like, and I don't like what I don't like. And I don't justify that. I don't have to. On to ones I think are done well. Oh boy, am I going to get shot for this one. Okay, so. Hobbit. Oh my god, this book's heavy. Lord of the Rings. You want to talk about a divisive fandom. There are those that are like me, like the movies for what they are. All right? They're not perfect adaptations. Nobody wants a perfect adaptation. Believe me. Have you read these books? There are some things they just don't need. Again, and I'm going to probably say it 100 more times, really enjoy these movies. Do I like them better than the books? Personally, no. I like the movies for the entertainment value that they are. I love the music. I love the effects. I like the flow of the story and the characters. And I think the actors did an absolutely phenomenal, amazing job. A lot of people shit on them, especially the adaptations of this one. Holy crap, do a lot of people shit on that. And, okay, maybe I'm sounding a bit wishy-washy here. I understand where the people are coming from. With this particular universe, Tolkien's universe, he set up not just the stories we read. There are appendices, there are histories, there are timelines and hereditary lines and crap that you can literally spend a lifetime studying, and people do. People really do. I have a friend of mine who is a Tolkien. I don't even know what she calls herself. She studies all that. She speaks the languages, for crying out loud. I do not get that far. The books I love for a completely different reason. I love the poeticism, the metaphors. I love the parallels. Characters can often be one-dimensional. To me, anyway. They're overpowered Mary Sues. That can come across in a book if done well, and Tolkien does it extremely well. What it does not come across well in is cinema. You have someone that is basically the arrogant version of All Might come onto screen and be like, I want that because my papa's this person. Yeah, that's not going to go over well. You're a spoiled shithead, is what the general world is going to think. Somehow in books it comes across, or at least well written. I mean, not to say there aren't characters out there that are written like that it doesn't come across well on. So, for these, I like the movies because, again, it gives me a different perspective. It fleshes things out. And I can watch the movies, and because I've read the books, have a deeper understanding of the small nuances that happen in the movie. I can't do the same comparison back. I mean, the movies are, I think, as faithful as can be made with having to pander to investors and, movie people, critics and that. So I don't think they're the biggest dumpster fire in the world that a lot of people think they are. I like them equally, but I like them for different reasons. And I think we have that ability. It doesn't have to be one or the other. I think you can like one version for one reason and like another version for another reason. And a lot of people, they think you're insane when you say things like that. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I am crazy. I often get told I'm crazy, so who knows? Anyway, another series, I think, that did the same thing very well as Peter Jackson did the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit movies is the Harry Potter movies. Okay, I don't have my discs for the other ones, but, you know, movie one. And then this big-ass bad boy here of all the books, okay? I'm going to hold up the DVD because the books are heavy. So, there were a lot of changes made when the movies started to come out from the books. Changes I was not happy with. Some of them I liked. I will admit the shrunken heads in the movies are hilarious to me. And, you know, there were certain things that were cut out that I think would have had more emotional impact had they been kept in the movie. You know, much the same with, you know, the Tolkien stuff. Certain things left out, certain characters left out that I think would have had more emotional impact. But are they trash just because they're a book-to-movie adaptation? No. For their entertainment value and for what they are, they're amazing. I love these movies. I binge watch them. I binge watch a lot of movies. It's just, you know, what I do. So, I think all this rambling, at the end of the day, it's a matter of opinion. If you are a purist or an elitist, yes, you're going to hate every book-to-movie adaptation. You're going to despise it, and you're going to try and discourage people from watching the movie because, you know, the book did it so much better. I think if you view cinema for what cinema is, a different form of art. Watercolors and oil paintings are different forms of art. Charcoal and digital media are different forms of art. But because someone draws an artwork on a tablet and doesn't draw it on a piece of paper, does that make them less of an artist? I mean, I view movies and books in a similar fashion. Just as I don't think painting a massive oil painting on a canvas is any less artful than drawing something in Photoshop or whatever the preferred art medium is. I'm not an artist. I'm just throwing that out there. I don't know what the programs are. That's just what came to mind. I think cinema is just a different art form. It's no less artful, but it's a different art. So it's going to come across differently. I could, if I could paint, I mean, I try, but, you know, if I was an artist, I could draw the same thing digitally as I do on a canvas. They're going to look like completely different things. But does that mean one's more pure than the other? I don't think so. It's still the subject. It's still the whatever. Still life of an apple. Does the oil painting mean it's more of an apple? No. No, there's an art reference for you. But I look at cinema as art. I look at the written word as art. Adaptations are just that. They're adaptations. They take inspirations from a source material. They don't try and replicate it for the simple fact that you can, just like you cannot fully replicate, say, an oil painting into watercolor, or say a graphite sketch into a quilted embroidered fabric, you're not going to be, and have it look the exact same. I mean, like the exact same. I don't think you can take books and put them into movies, or vice versa, and have them the exact same. They could have the same source material, but they're not going to come across the same way. And that's without getting into all the little nuances in play, such as, keeping, again, I mentioned them before, keeping investors happy or publishers happy or fans happy, marketing happy, whatever. I mean, there's a whole business side of everything, especially books and movies, that plays a lot into that. And I'm not looking at that. I'm just trying to say, I guess, that as an art form, we cannot specifically give this grandiose, flat statement, oh, movie adaptations are absolutely terrible. Don't ever watch movie adaptations. They're shit. I don't think we can say that. Movie's a completely different art form. Some people are going to like books better than movies. Generally, I like books better than movies. If you give me the option to see a movie based off a book, chances are I'm going to go read the book first, because I want to know what I'm getting into. Maybe I'll hate the movie, maybe I'll like it. But I think it's just very damaging to make any kind of blank statement, but especially a blank statement like that about art forms. Movies are art. Books are art. They just tell the same story in different ways. Just like a watercolor tells a story different than an oil painting. Anyway, that's my final thoughts on it. That was a little rambly. If you stuck with me all the way through, thank you very much. If you have opinions, please let me know. Please keep it civil. I don't want fighting in my comments. I don't want people starting to bash one another. I don't want arguments breaking out. But, if you're like, you are like, you're on the camp that you only read the books and you never watch the movie adaptations, great. Post a comment. Let me know why. Let me know, maybe not why. I mean, you don't have to justify yourself, but let me know your thoughts on it. Be nice about it, but I want to hear opinions. If you don't read, I don't know why you'd be on my channel if you don't read. I'm a book channel, but if you've stumbled across this video and maybe you don't read books and you only like movies, please tell me some of your favorites. I'm a huge movie nerd, as big as I am a book nerd. I would love to maybe be introduced into some new things that I'm not aware of. I love foreign films as well. As long as there's subtitles that I can read it, please let me know. If there's movies are a little bit easier than books, because books you have to look for actual written translations. Movies generally you can find a subtitle on or a fan sub with. If you have a favorite adaptation, let me know what it is. If you have an adaptation you think's a dumpster fire, let me know what that is too, because like I said, I like bad movies too. And it might introduce me to a book I've never read, and maybe I'll watch the movie and go, wow, that's terrible. I wonder what book that's based off of, and go get the book, and maybe I'll find a new favorite. I don't know. Anyway, that's enough rambling for now. Have a good one, y'all. Stay safe. Stay healthy. And that's all I can say. Bye.